TVs, cars, phones, even the cash register at the store. Things that we see all the time, but whose inner workings are still a mystery to most people in the world. The field of study that makes these things work is computer science, and that's the major that I've chosen to study. So what is computer science? Computer science is the study of computers and their uses for processing info, which is basically just, it's not the same as biology or chemistry. It's not that type of science. It's more of an application-based science. You don't just look at computer science stuff and just write down information. You actually code, you actually type what you want to happen. And there's a bunch of different languages of computer science, hundreds of them. But the most common ones are HTML, Java, JavaScript, C, C++, and Python. And in my computer science class here at Upstate, we've made plenty of our own programs, and one of my most complex ones was a phone directory program where you would type in someone's name and phone number and give them an assigned ID number, and once you ran the code, it would let you put in more information and also let you pull up specific information based on the ID number. So what can you do with a computer science degree? There's many different fields that you can actually go into from computer science, but what I personally want to be is a software developer, which is the phone directory program that I made, or just everything based on software, which is pretty much everything. But a software developer they make the actual software that makes computers and phones and things like that work. And I got in contact with someone on Reddit named Kepler18, who was a database administrator, and what they do is make programs that store and organize customer records for shipping and just general storage. And he said him and his team actually did that, and he wouldn't tell me what company he worked for, which is a privacy thing, but that's okay. So the salary for a software developer is, as of 2019, $100,510. That's the average salary. And by 2029, the number of jobs are actually supposed to go up 22%, which is above average for other jobs. So why do I want to do computer science? The thing I like about computer science is it gives me a big feeling of accomplishment when I actually get a code done. For example, the phone directory one. It actually took me a lot of time to figure out what needs to do what and where to put everything, because it's like baking a cake. That's the common analogy that we always learn in computer science. It's like baking a cake. You can't put the eggs in and then put it in the oven. You got to put the mix, the flour, the eggs, the flavor. You got to put all that stuff first before you put it in the oven. Otherwise, you won't have an actual cake. It's the same way with programming. You actually have to follow a set direction order. You got to follow a set order to make it work properly. Because the first time I tried to run my program for the phone directory, it didn't work at all, pretty much. It would let me put information in, but I couldn't access it. I couldn't search for anything. And when I tried to fix it, it let me access stuff, but I couldn't add more names to the list. And it actually took me a few days to get that done. But the feeling I got after finally completing it, after like 3 days, it was just amazing. I love that feeling. And another reason I want to do computer science is to leave a mark on the world, which, since computer science stuff doesn't actually leave a physical mark, is ironic that I chose computer science. But I want to make something that'll last in the world. Like, I understand that I'll make a code one day and then someone's going to come along and tweak it to be even better. But at the end of the day, I made that. It was still my legacy. And that's what I want to do in the world. I want to be remembered for something. So yeah, that's a little bit about computer science. That's the major I want to study. Well, that I am studying. That's the profession I want to do. My profession is actually software development. Computer science is my major.